Okay, I want to welcome you out tonight as we start exploring. I'm a new consultant. Where do I start? This is really an important class for consultants because there is no manual, and many people in the church have no clue what this calling is really all about. And so it's really important to know where you can find your marching orders, if you want to call it that. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the structure of the ward and how family or ward, temple, and family history consultants fit into that structure, the actual duties of a consultant, and then where the support for consultants comes from. And then we'll give some suggestions and ideas, things that we think are smart and important to do to make your calling effective. So welcome to your calling. We're going to treat it as if you've just received your calling. I know almost all of us have had this for a while, but hopefully we'll learn something along the way here that we didn't know about. Okay, so where would you go if you first heard you were going to be called as a consultant? The real place to go is to the churchofjesuschrist.org webpage. Sign in and click on My Calling. Now, we're going to then at that point find out if your ward clerk's on the ball, because there are official titles and then there are titles people sometimes just make up and put in. Your clerk has got to put in the correct calling, worded exactly the right way using the link that they provide for it so that you can get emails and documentation and things sent to you, and so that links like this will work for you. Because if this is lined up correctly, it'll take you to a My Callings page that says Ward, Temple, and Family History Consultant. Or if you're a stake consultant, it will say Stake, Temple, and Family History Consultant. There are two links up here at the top that we're going to work from tonight, especially. And then we're going to start with the one on the right, which is the actual Handbook of Instruction and what it says in the handbook. We'll then go over and talk about the Getting Started link. There's also official communication library here where you can see official communications that come out from Salt Lake. And down at the bottom, there's a link here that doesn't work yet that says inspiration for your calling. I guess they've decided we don't need any inspiration yet because it doesn't work. It's supposedly coming soon, so we'll have to wait and see. But that link is a dead link. So if you try to click on it, nothing happens. Don't feel bad because that's the problem I have too. Okay, so the place that starts the handbook. And you can get to this in Google just by typing General Handbook, LDS, and it'll come up in Google and you can click on it. This particular link, though, is going to take you to the portion about temple and family history work, where all the callings are explained. This link, like I said, takes you to the Temple and Family History Consultant section 25.2.4, where the role of everyone involved in temple and family history work is explained. And the following slides are actually taken from there, along with one image you're going to see on the next slide that came from the priesthood instruction maybe 3 years ago at RootStech. Or not this one, but the following slide. So from the handbook, what is my role? It says under Temple and Family History Consultants, Ward Temple and Family History Consultants serve under the direction of the Ward Temple and Family History leader. Or if there is no leader, a member of the Elders Quorum presidency, usually one of the counselors, or if no counselors have been designated, by default, it becomes the Elders Quorum president. So one of these brethren is the head person in the priesthood line for temple and family history work in the ward. So the Ward Temple and Family History Consultant's duties as shown in the handbook are to help individuals and families discover their ancestors and gather their names for temple ordinances. That's the primary role of a temple and family history consultant. Also to help members prepare to attend the temple, and the consultants may participate in temple instruction, which would be at the temple prep classes, activities, or actual temple trips. Though that's not normally something you do, it's possible that you might be asked. The main thing we do in preparing people for the temple is to make sure they have a card of a family member in their hands when they go. That would be the big role for us. Also to attend temple and family history coordination meetings, which should be held on a regular basis within your ward. And then lastly, to provide family history experiences, especially for those learning the gospel. Now notice these groups that the brethren really want us to try to focus on. New and returning members, so newly baptized people, people that are returning into activity, and the children and youth preparing to receive limited use recommends. Those are the groups that we really need to try to focus on to get those groups fully involved with the temple. The one group that's left out of this that I know our Area 70s are really interested in seeing served are the young single adults. So we ought to probably include young single adults in here too, because that's a group that the area presidency is really concerned about. Okay, and then lastly, and notice this is not a mandatory thing, to serve in the local family search center when requested. It's not a part of your calling as such. The offer can be extended to you. And if it is, if you want to, you can serve in the center. It's not something that's a part of the actual call. Your call is to work in the ward. But family search centers need workers, and generally, almost all the workers are consultants in wards that have been recruited to work a shift or 2 or 3 or 4 a month so that the center can stay open. Okay, now this is the slide that came from priesthood leadership a couple of years ago when they introduced ward, temple, and family history leaders. And so this is the pattern of organization that the brethren would like to see occur in most wards that are of decent size, where they have enough people to have all the positions in the ward filled. And in the way of family history, the ward council is tasked with the job of developing a temple and family history plan for the ward. The ward council is the group that forms this document. It actually is overseen by the Elders Quorum president and the Relief Society president. They're supposed to lead the discussion in doing that because it is their responsibility to run the temple and family history programs within the ward. As far as the ward is concerned, the bishop's the one that holds the keys to temple and family history work in the ward. He delegates that responsibility to the Elders Quorum president, who can then in turn turn it over to a counselor. If he doesn't, then he still has that responsibility. So it goes from the bishop to a member of the Elders Quorum presidency, and they in turn work with the ward, temple, and family history leader. This is a person that's called in the ward, if they have one, to oversee the work. He's the person who's directly responsible for training the consultants and assigning duties to the consultants, and to see that the work gets done, and then report back to the Elders Quorum. If they don't have this person, then the counselor or the Elders Quorum president himself would be the person that would be responsible for training the consultants and seeing that they're put to work, if you want to call it that. The leader should meet regularly with you. And I put this in because I don't want to say anything negative about leaders, but in fact, a lot of them really don't know a lot about what they're supposed to be doing. They may not even realize they should be meeting with you regularly. So if you see things here that are mentioned that don't happen in your ward, you need to be the one to just kind of step up and say, hey, by the way, you're supposed to meet with me regularly and give me some guidance and tell me what you'd like me to do, because otherwise you will just sit there, and we don't want that to happen. We don't want you to sit there and vegetate. Okay, so now getting started. This is the other main article there that's at the top of the My Calling page. And this article is separate from the handbook. It covers much of the same stuff that's in the handbook with some extra information added in. Okay, and so you can find some good things in this article too, which can be found here going through the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's also in another location that we'll show you in a couple of minutes. Okay, and the following slides are coming directly out of it. So in the Getting Started article, they say where to start. Well, they say before you're sustained, counsel with the Melchizedek priesthood holder who called you about where to begin. Usually it's too late at this point, unless you want to go back to the person and say, okay, you called me to this position. Do you know what it is I'm supposed to do? You may find that some of these brethren really don't know an awful lot about what you're supposed to do. So that in itself could be an interesting conversation. We know where to find it, though. We can go over into the handbook, and it's all explained right there as we've talked about. You should seek the guidance from the Spirit. This is going to be shown you over and over and over, and I can't stress it enough. Let the Spirit guide you through prayer and study, and you'll find the path. You'll find out what it is you need to do. They recommend in this article that you go over to the handbook and read that chapter 25 that we've already referred to. And then also, very interestingly, chapters 1 through 4, which a lot of people never look at. I found this very interesting to read. These are the chapters that give you the doctrinal foundation for God's plan. And it really very good reading to read those 4 chapters. And then they also recommend that you watch or read the transcripts for, I believe there's 8 now, Temple and Family History Leadership Instruction broadcasts. These are those meetings that are held with Roots Tech. And you can find them over on it, churchofjesuschrist.org. And they're all listed there. And you can view all 8 of them if you want. Most recent ones, of course, are the most important ones for us right now. Okay, after you're sustained and set apart, don't forget, you may be asked to do a lot of things, but always remember your family comes first. And then counsel, like it said before, with the priesthood leader assigned to find out what your responsibilities are and what it is that person wants you to do. Okay, continuing on, it says to continue to pray for guidance, seek for guidance about how you can involve others in temple family history work. Under direction of your assigned priesthood leader, participate in available training. Hopefully your leader will guide you towards some training. It might be on the ward level, it might be on your stake level, it could be these classes, it could be watching things on the Family Search website under help and learning. There's a lot of different places for training. It could be in person, it could be remote, but find out what training this person would like you to have and make sure you follow through with it. Participate in those meetings so that you know what's going on in your ward and you get your input into what happens in the ward. Then help individuals and families discover their ancestors. As we go through all this, this is what we're trying to do. Okay, and then help the members to attend the temple and provide those family history experiences for others, especially for the new members, returning members, children, and youth. Okay, and then one assigned serving the center. And then there's one extra one that's not found anywhere else but here. And it's still in the current article that's on the web page, so I assume it's still in effect. You need to remember that in all cases, consultants sooner or later will be working with the youth. And because you're working with the youth, you really should go through the course that's found at this link. And it's found in that Getting Started article. You can go into that article and click on the link. And it's just a short little review that gives you the church's feelings about how you should deal with working with the youth, talking about never being alone in the same room with them one-on-one and things like that. So make sure that you participate in that training. And that's the only place I've ever seen this mentioned. It's been there for several years now in that article. Okay, so your job's to help patrons to do three things. One is discover who their family is and really get to know their relatives, living and dead. Gather the living and the dead through temple ordinances and activities for the family to bring the living together so they have a better understanding of their ancestors. And lastly, to connect their family members, both living and dead, in such a way that there are bonds of love between the generations. Think about those and just kind of ponder on them, and you'll be able to have copies of these slides because within them is found the essence of what we're trying to accomplish, which is to build family unity to draw us closer to our ancestors, which in turn draws us closer to the Savior. Okay, now there are some other places you can go. One of them is called Helper Resources. Now this link is found in everybody's family search screen, but it's designed for us. The church is organized and put a lot of articles and links and helps for us on a page under what's called Helper Resources. We find it by going to the question mark icon and then on the drop down, clicking on Helper Resources at the bottom. And that takes you to a page that's a lot longer than this. This is just the top part. And in the top part, you'll find recent articles, which is actually the Family Search blog articles, the recent Family Search blog articles, because many of them have things in them that are very appropriate for use by consultants, with tips and ideas and teaching you how to do different things and use different features and things like that. Then there's a section of what's new. That what's new, though, takes you to the link where mainly it shows you the new records that are put up each week. Occasionally they'll have a feature in there, what's new for this new feature, but in most cases it's just what's new for records. Then there's a section to take you to the Family Search community. The Family Search community it's like Facebook for Family Search. It's an offshoot of the Family Search webpage. And in it, there is actually a couple of different groups for consultants where you can go, you can join the group, you can ask questions and get some advice and help there. You can also use it when you're working with a patron and you're having some kind of problem, either with the Family Search website or trying to find things. You can join a group for a location, like say Argentina or something like that, and they would help you find records or teach you how to find records. And then the last one, there are easy invitations, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Currently, what it does is it has a list of all the ward members who have either hints available on their nearby screens or discoveries that they haven't looked at. It's supposed to also show temple ordinances, but right now it's not showing if there's any temple ordinances available in their nearby screens. Either that or everybody in my ward has found every temple ordinance that needs to be done, which I rather doubt. But so right now I only see the two things. I don't see the third one, the temple ordinances. But that can be used to send invites out to members of the ward to take a look at their family history. Okay, then below that section is the real meat of the page, where they have a lot of really good information. They have a column on calling information, where it can take you to like a page where there's another listing for your temple and family history callings, or a page about personalized family history experiences, how to provide those, a Roots Tech link for videos about temple and family history callings, also Family History Network there. Then there's training links for research tips, indexing, Family History Center operations guide, church policies, family search planner tutorial videos, and then a section for quick links for different things. I'll look at just one of these for you tonight. We'll go look at what they have under Family Search Planner tutorial videos. We're going to be talking about the planner in the next couple of months. And what they have here is they have actually a set of 7 short videos, which I believe are all Roots Tech classes or presentations that walk you through in short steps how to use the planner. And so this is the kind of thing you'll find there. You'll find a lot of help. You can go into those links and you'll get different kinds of help depending on what the link is. But this is just a good example of what it is. This is all found under the research help. Or I said it wrong. Helper resources. There we go. Wake up. Okay, another place to go is help in learning. This used to be what we called the Help Center. Okay, well, it's been renamed Help in Learning. You find it by also going to the question mark and then going down and clicking on Help and Learning. Okay, this is the primary place to go when you need help and you're working with somebody, either help with the website or help with finding people or trying to straighten up problems in the tree or adding something new in and you don't know how to do things. This is the place to go. There is no handbook for the website. Help in Learning is your handbook, because in it you're going to find literally thousands of articles. You put in the search bar a topic you want, you will get responses back. And there are literally thousands of them to pick from. And it also includes hundreds of videos. So you might be able to find a video on the same topic that you can watch that will explain things for you. Okay, so this is a tool you really need to learn how to use, not just for your sake, but because you're going to be working with people that you hope are going to get into the website. They may need help and they need to know how to get to Help in Learning and use it. So as you learn to use it, you're preparing yourself to teach others. Okay, so if we click on Help in Learning, this is essentially what you see on the right-hand side. Okay, and you can ask a question in that box. It can be an actual question, or you can just put in keywords that you want, and it will search. Right now, because you're using that box and you haven't gone to, and done any filtering, it's going to cover all the topic areas that are on this ribbon down below. It's going to search all of them, even the ones that aren't necessarily appropriate for your question. Maybe you want to know something about temple ordinances. Well, it would be searching family tree, memories, searching records, your account, indexing, partners, and eventually it would get over there and discover, oh yeah, and there are some temple articles too. So the smart way to really do it is pick your topic. Most of the time it's going to be family tree, maybe memories or records or the temple. Those will be the main ones you'll use, though there are others like temple and family history consultant is one topic. So if I pick temple and then put my question in, when I click on temple, it's going to take me to a page that's just about temple. And then when I put my question in, it will just search the articles that are appropriate for temple answers for temple work. And so it makes it easier to get the answer you want. That's the whole bottom line of that. So that's help in learning. And the last resource is one that's outside of Family Search called the Family History Guide. And this you can find online if you just go to thefhguide.com, or you can just Google the Family History Guide and it will get you there. This is a great resource. Like I said, it's a third-party product. That means it was written by people outside Family Search using the code of the Family Search website so it could interface with the Family Search website. Their mission, I love their mission statement on here. It says, our mission is to greatly increase the number of people actively involved in family history worldwide and to make everyone's family history more efficient and more enjoyable. And so that's their goal. They have a lot of training opportunities for you, and they are really good. Family Search has basically turned a lot of their training over to these people because they do a better job than Family Search. And Family Search knows that. So within this box are found most of the topics that you could go to. They cover the four main websites, the big four of family history: Family Search, Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Find My Past. To help you learn how to use those sites, they provide all kinds of resources and training. They also have one listed as countries. That's kind of equivalent to our wiki. They will take every country and every state in the United States, some other countries they'll break down to regional things too, and teach you how to do research in those areas. Very similar to the wiki, more though on a researcher's point of view, not just a listing of topics and links specifically for finding certain records, but more of a training course sort of thing. So we'll take one little section. We'll look at those web page things. They have what they call projects. So they have a project for Family Search, and that project has 8 main parts to it. They have a section where they teach you about the tree, a section about memories, a section about descendancy, a section about discover, indexing, help, technology, and DNA. In other words, they have a whole training course on each of those topics. They do the same thing over at Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Find My Past. If you want to know how to use these sites, here's a great place to go to get training. And just to show you a little bit, we'll take that topic, family tree, and at the bottom of the screen, I have put down, I clicked on that, and it says, here are goals. These are like learning modules. There's a whole learning module on how to navigate where they'll give you articles and videos and little activities to complete and things like that that will teach you how to navigate through Family Tree. Then there's a section on viewing details, and it'll cover everything about details. And then about children and spouses and finding recents and alternate views and changing information and record hints and attaching sources and notes and merging and charts and forms and sources. And it covers everything. It's really well done. So this is something for everybody to probably spend some time at. And remember, it doesn't just cover family search. You've got Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Find My Past too. Okay, now the last section of this lesson is some suggestions from us. Okay, the first thing, what makes qualities of a good consultant? You need to magnify your calling. If you don't try to magnify it, you're probably not going to accomplish very much. This is one of those times where you make your calling what it is. Secondly, you're going to be teaching one-on-one, so you need to try to get used to that and, work with that, because that is the single best way, and it's been proven. This is the way that's effective. This is the way real learning works, is this one-on-one. And so that'll be the heart of what you do. And the third one is be willing to learn new skills. Family search is forever changing. You will forever be learning new skills. There's not any of us, including myself, who knows it all. Because tomorrow they'll come out with something else new and I'll have to learn it. So just expect to continue to learn. Okay, support from your state consultants. These people are often overlooked in the whole scheme of things when we're talking about Ward Temple and family history consultants. But remember now, the person who's really responsible for training those consultants is a Ward Temple and family history leader, who oftentimes doesn't really know much family history. And so he's at a real disadvantage from the get-go, and hopefully will turn you towards the state consultants for help, because we know you guys are the best. So to augment your training, the state presidency hopefully will authorize the state and temple family history consultants to help with the wards to train their consultants, because that's the way it needs to work. That's the way it works in our state. It has been very, very, very successful over the years. The state consultants can provide help in these ways. They can hold regular classes. Many states have classes held through the Family History or Family Search Center. I'll get it right some year. They will provide regular classes once a month, twice a month, whatever. This class is actually a spin-off of that for our state. They also can provide you with one-on-one help. If you walk into the center and say, I'm a new consultant, I need help, I am sure you will get help from either a state consultant or one of the consultants that's working in the center. So try to use these people. I want to bust a couple of myths. The first myth is that you need to be an expert on genealogy. Absolutely no, you do not. You can learn everything you need to survive if you will take the trainings and read the articles and things that are provided you. You will have enough to be an expert. An expert's really a person that knows one more thing than the other guy. And I guarantee you, you will be an expert. You will know sufficiently what's needed. Okay, the next one is this is not a spiritual calling. That is really totally false. There's not many callings that are more spiritual than this, because you're working with the other side of the veil, and you better believe that those people that are the ancestors of your patrons want to be found, and they want to be known, and they want to be learned about, and they will do everything in their power through you to get this information to your patrons. So be in touch with the spirit, because this is a very spiritual calling. And the last one is it'll be difficult. Not really. Now, it won't be easy. You can't say it's going to be easy either. It's going to take some work, but I promise you it's not that hard anymore. We have so many resources now that actually doing research and things like that is not hard at all. All you need to do is talk to any of us that have been doing this for over 30 years, and we can tell you the horror stories of what it used to be like. Okay, last advice here, seek the Spirit. Can't say that enough. Pray about your calling, pray about the people you're looking for, pray for your patrons. Participate personally in family history work. You learn by helping yourself first. I can't stress that enough. Do as much as you can in your own tree in family search, working on your own family where you're familiar with the people, and that will help you get familiar with the website if you need that familiarity. And participate in trainings wherever they are. And then set a goal to work with a couple of people of the ward each month. If your ward leader or elders quorum president's not giving you work to do, when you go to church and you sit down in the pews, turn around to the person sitting behind you or lean over to the person in front of you and say, hey, what would you like to learn about family history? I'm a consultant and I can show you. And work with members that way. If they're not going to give you people to work with, find people to work with, and you'll be surprised how many of them want some help. Okay, so your challenge, before you even begin helping patrons, we recommend you spend as much time as you can working on your own tree. I guarantee you that will be the best training you can do for yourself. And then try to get a mentor. If you can, the ideal thing would be like somebody in your ward who's a longtime consultant that maybe you already know and have a relationship with. Just try to get under their wing and have them mentor you. If not, find somebody else, but try to find a mentor that you can turn to when you need help. And then, like I've said, try to spend a little time each day or as often as you can learning how to use these sites, Family Search and Ancestry especially, and then take advantage of the trainings. Final thought, we really hope these lessons will help you learn your callings as a temple and family history consultant. They're designed to help you in two ways. One is to inform you so that you have the knowledge you need. And the second one is to prepare you in assisting patrons. Those are the two goals that we have, informing you and then helping you assist patrons. And if you take advantage of these lessons, not that we're trying to peddle our own wares here, but we are in a sense, you'll be better informed to assist your patrons. So congratulations on your call. If you need more help, we have, after this one's posted, it'll be 68 videos on our YouTube channel. And that can be found, and you get it in your little emails that go out to those of you who are in the audience right now through Fresno North Stake Family Search Center trainings. You have to remember, we're working out of Fresno North Stake. We're working for the Family Search Center, and these are trainings. That's our channel name. You go to that, you can see all 68 videos. So we hope that this has helped you. It gives you some ideas of what to do. And with that, we can go to questions.